See you in the land of mortar, death awaits you at the border. Pass on through the gates of and destroy the ring.
Time has finally come to paint my Laketown house. I've had this for over a year and never got around to it. Kind of embarrassing that way. With any luck, this will be easier than the Dole Golder. I think so, because it's only 2 sprues, and if it's anything like the Royal Huron house, it should be. I'm always debating on how to actually paint the house. Do you paint it like you see houses in the Nova Scotia area where they're all colorful, or Newfoundland for that matter, or do you paint it like kind of like the movie where it's more of a dingy color like from hundreds of years ago? So we'll see. The only thing, not as many pieces obviously, so this should go really well. I'm going to coat everything with a flat black primer to make it look to pretend I know what I'm doing. And we'll go from there. Alright, get them all primed up. Now we're going to paint this whole thing and see what it looks like, all of them painted up, and then we'll start building it. Okay, so we got the house all painted, and we have the dock parts, the dock all painted. Still have to paint some of the accessories that are found on there, and the fish that are on the docks. So let's start with the dock section. The dock section, I want to get a weathered look. Like it's a lake town, right? So water is always slopping over the sides of a dock. Adverse weather conditions, a lot of rain, and you want it to look like it's got that feel. So I tried several types of gray and white and all that stuff, but eventually I came up with Rakarth Flesh is what I used as a base coat or undercoat, and then I just lightly brushed some Buell-Tan green on it as a shade to give it the look it's got now. So it looks like it's an old dock or deck sections with algae on it. If you've ever been on an old dock in the middle of in cottage country or by the ocean, you'll see a lot of algae growing on stuff. So that was the idea. It'd be green stained algae, mosses growing in stuff. So that was the effect. The house was a little different. There's the front door, the sides, the roof, the little gable up there. What do you call those things? Now for the house itself, I covered the shingles in mechanized standard gray, and then I used a shade Noon oil to give it like a slicker look. You can tell the difference. That's the same kind of gray, the mechanized gray, and then but only these ones have the shading oil, because I wanted to make it look like flint or shale for the tiles, because that stuff would be water resistant. You wouldn't have to replace it so much. For the house itself, I used Doombull Brown, gave it like a reddish kind of color, and for the major post I just used Dirt World Forest. Now I also tried to weather it a little, which didn't really turn out well, using a sponge to give it a little more weathered look. Didn't quite work out the way I wanted to, because these houses would also have that weather. They have a lot of rain. People probably can't afford paint so much, nor would they have time to paint stuff. But I am happy. It does look pretty cool from I really wanted to get in here and add like little lights, some yellowish, but I can't be bothered now. I haven't painted the fish on the dock yet. But the house is supposed to sit like that on there. These docking sections go kind of like, you can do it any way you want, really. So you go there. You come back like that. Any way you want. So that'd be like your little harbor for your boat. So greens and browns. It looks pretty cool from just by looking at it from here. It looks really cool. We still got a lot of stuff to paint. We got to make the little tool shed / outhouse, whatever that is. So you put that there like that. And you have your little outhouse or tool shed, whatever the hell it is. It's up to you what you want to make out of it. And then there's a lot of little accessories that go in there. And a little railing on this side. Finally, I finished my Laketown house and dock set. Quite pleased with the effects. Got it all painted up. Got the boat in the water. Got the barrels made. I got all the little lanterns done. The signposts. I didn't put any design on the actual business signpost because I'm not that good of an artist. But overall, I'm pretty pleased with the effect of my Laketown house. For the boat, I used a Baylor brown and then painted over with that death wool green stuff, and then gave it the wash to give it an algae look. So I'm quite pleased with that. The barrels, I tried different colors. There's a little the little outhouse at the back, or tool shed, whatever you want to call it. Right now it's my tool shed because right now it's holding all the accessories, all the extra stuff that comes with this thing is what's holding it. So quite pleased with the final approach. For someone who's not a professional painter, this is actually came out really well. It wasn't hard to build. It just took me time to get motivated to do it. I could have added a few more little elements like lights in the window and that, but decided it looks good as it is. How well is it as a battle piece? A set piece for a battle? Not really. Now, you could use this in other locations. Like you could use this in a Bree land, which I think is kind of cool. You also use the Rohirrim Palisade to make a little Bree land as well. And even the Rohirrim house is a farm within Bree. So there's definitely opportunities there. This could be a house anywhere in Middle-earth, not just Laketown. But it is a nice little set piece. You can use the planking from Goblin Town also as to extend your docks if you don't want to go out and buy a new Laketown set. So I know they were offering three Laketowns for a couple $100, was it? But again, overall the effect was pretty cool. Fortunately, it's not really made to scale because those guys just their heads hardly go inside. And the deck, like the dock itself, should be a little bit wider. The boat should have been a little bigger. You can only fit it's only a 2-man. So it isn't really up to scale in that sense. If you take the house out, that deck section would be better. So they could have made it a little bit bigger to be able to fit more models. Because when you're fighting, it's only one-on-one. And the boat is just a rowboat. Would have been cooler to have Bard's boat when he picks up the dwarves. That size of boat would have been nice to have. Of course, I'd like them to build a Corsair ship. It'd be creative. Games Workshop came up with a Corsair ship. That way you could use the Umbarians from the Corsairs of Umbar and docking at the ruins of Osgiliath. That would be cool. Or have Aragorn pick them up. So there's definitely possibilities they haven't looked at in Games Workshop. But anyway, that's my Laketown house. I think it's pretty awesome. I like it. Anyway, any Lord of the Rings strategy battle game fans, let me know if you guys have this piece and if you guys were actually able to play on it. I haven't tried it yet, so we'll see what happens. Leave comments in the comment section, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Until next time, this is Roman Daisel. I am out of here.